The national emergency concerning the southern border of the United States was declared on February 15, 2019, by President of the United States Donald Trump. Citing the National Emergencies Act, it ordered the diversion of billions of dollars of funds that had been appropriated to the U.S. Department of Defense for military construction. Trump declared the emergency after he signed, but derided, a bipartisan funding bill containing border security funding without funding for the border wall that Trump demanded. Trump had previously threatened to declare a national emergency if Congress did not pass his entire desired program for a wall on the United States-Mexican border by February 15, 2019. Under Proclamation 9844, the Trump administration intended to redirect $8 billion in previously agreed expenditure and to use the money to build the wall instead. Under Trump's plan, $3.6 billion assigned to military construction, $2.5 billion meant for the Department of Defense's drug interdiction activities, and $600 million from the Treasury's forfeiture fund would be diverted for wall construction. Trump's declaration was unprecedented in that none of the 58 previous emergency declarations made by U.S. presidents involved circumventing Congress to spend money it had expressly refused to authorize or allocate. Trump's declaration of a national emergency was condemned by Democrats as unconstitutional. U.S. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called the declaration an affront to the rule of law that was a lawless act, a gross abuse of the power of the presidency, and a desperate attempt to distract from the fact that President Trump broke his core promise to have Mexico pay for his wall. Some Republicans also criticized Trump's declaration, fearing that circumventing Congress would set a dangerous precedent for the future. Congress passed a joint resolution to terminate the national emergency, but it was vetoed by Trump. This was his first veto. Trump's declaration of a national emergency was immediately challenged in federal court, with California and 16 other states suing the federal government on separation of powers grounds. The Sierra Club and a Clue brought a similar suit. In 2019, a U.S. district court issued a preliminary injunction, and later a permanent injunction, in the Sierra Club suit, blocking Trump from diverting military funds for construction of a border wall. In July 2019, the Supreme Court, in a 5-4, one-paragraph ruling, overturned the lower court's ruling in Trump v. Sierra Club that blocked the use of funds to construct the border wall pending further legal proceedings. The Supreme Court majority found that the Sierra Club likely lacked legal standing. In October 2019, in a separate case, a U.S. District Court in Texas found that the El Paso County, Texas and the Border Network for Human Rights had legal standing to challenge Trump's attempt to divert $3.6 billion in military construction for wall construction along the Mexico border. And in December 2019, the court issued a permanent injunction blocking the attempted diversion of funds. The ruling did not affect the use of other funds that the Trump administration designed for wall construction, such as counter-drug and Treasury forfeiture funds. In a proclamation made on February 13, 2020, Trump extended Proclamation 9844 for an additional year. He repeated the one-year extension on January 18, 2021, just 2 days before leaving office. However, Trump's successor, President Joe Biden, in one of his first official acts as president on January 20, 2021, terminated Trump's emergency declaration and paused work on the wall. On February 11, 2021, Biden wrote in a letter to Congress that the original declaration of national emergency had been unwarranted and that no more government funds would be used to build the wall. The Wall Street Journal reported the day of Trump's declaration that his action was the outcome of 2 years of political neglect of his signature campaign promise, lost amid competing priorities and divisions within his administration, with no single administration official having been designated to champion funding of the border wall in Congress. Trump rejected a proposal in January 2018 that would have authorized $25 billion for wall construction in exchange for a path to citizenship for Dreamers, as well as a similar proposal the next month. In March, Congress approved a bill providing for $1.6 billion in barrier funding. Threatening to veto the bill, the Journal reported that Trump was surprised to learn that the $1.6 billion was the amount that had been requested in his budget. Trump's budget director Mick Mulvaney then privately advised the president to blame House Speaker Paul Ryan for not seeking more funding. Tom Davis, an influential former Republican congressman, observed, "The mistake they made was not coming in right away and coming up with a plan. You wonder why they didn't.